but back to the bodybuilding. I mean, like, what's your intentions for like in women's physique? You want to move up or
Yeah, I'm gonna get my pro card. I'm getting
you,
it.
so like you have you thought about doing bodybuilding or like
um,
having like more muscle mass?
yes and no.
Mhm.
I know bodybuilding is a completely different level than physique, and I mean physique's a completely different level than bikini. But bodybuilding is intimidating.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, now it's like like you sometimes you can't like differentiate a
That's true.
physique competitor to a bodybuilder because
Yeah.
even just me understanding the sport, I'm like, what's the difference? And then
Well,
people
my
broke it
fiance
down
says
to
all the
me.
time, she's like, I have no idea what I'm even looking for on stage. Like, I don't know, the all the classes look the same to me now.
But they do like sometimes the figure they look either
I've seen some
like
jack
physique.
figure girls. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember I was talking to one figure girl, and I would say she is big as Corey Everson, if you're familiar with her.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
was like looking at like a comparison. I'm like, and she's bigger than Corey Everson, like if she was competing at that time, you know?
Mhm. It's crazy.
So,
Crazy. But yeah, I'm open to floating between classes. Whatever my coach thinks is the best route for me is what I'll do.
yeah. Who's your coach?
So I'm working with Brandon Cooper right now. He's out of Texas. So
Okay.
unfortunately he's not local, which is probably the only downfall to him.
Oh, okay. It's not local. Like you have to see him online or something like
Yeah,
that,
I've
or.
never met him in real life.
Oh, somebody had told me this before. Like, they had to, they never met they coach in person, so and they
Mhm.
was training them, but they
Yep.
did good under this person
I
for
mean, he
somebody
he
that didn't
got
see
me
them.
first and second place, so he's doing the job.
Yeah, how you stumbled across him?
Instagram actually. I think somebody had tagged him
Oh, that'll do it.
in one of their stage pictures and stuff, and I was like, "Oh," and I did some research on him. And at this point I hadn't even truly made the decision that I wanted to step on stage. I just wanted to kind of push myself through a prep to see if I could handle it. I'd been working out for 10, 12 years before this point. So I needed a little extra like goal for myself. Like I wasn't dissatisfied with my physique at that point in any way, shape, or form. I was very happy about how I looked. But at the same time, I was like, I don't have anything lighting the fire in me anymore. Like
Mm.
12 years later, I need a goal. I need something to look forward to. Um, so I was talking to a few different coaches, and because I really think it's about who you vibe with, because this person's going to know the in and outs of your life. You're going to be sending them half naked pictures all the time. Like you need to feel comfortable with this person. So I talked to a couple trainers, a couple coaches, and his whole vibe, we just hit it off. He was very attentive, even though he was very open with his team about some personal things that he was going through. He like never once forgot about us or didn't do check-ins with us or anything. He's always on top of things. He's always making sure his athletes feel the most comfortable that they possibly can. Um, so after doing some research, I decided to go with him. And yeah, I mean, first two shows, second and first place.
Yeah, let me show the viewers your physique. Yeah.
Yay.
How far you wanna take it? Like how long? Like competing?
Nope, those were my actually those two pictures you just showed were from my that one was from Rhode Island. So the difference between those two pictures is probably 3 years.
Which
And that
one?
before
Which
and after.
one?
Yep,
Right
that
here.
one. That was like 2.5 years difference.
You look like a power lifter at
Nah.
the one on the left. Yeah, I
So,
mean, there's powerlifting that's about your size. You
so
ever
I used to be
you
really into
used to
like
do powerlifting?
powerlifting. That was my
Okay.
thing before was powerlifting. So after I had my daughter, who's 4 now, I got
Mm.
into like the heavier lifting and I was deadlifting. I was up to 350 on my deadlifts. In the threes for my squat and 215 for bench. Um, and then like the heavy stuff just wasn't really vibing with my body. My
Yeah,
back
I
started
know.
hurting, my knees started
Yeah,
hurting.
yeah, I know.
I was like, if I
know.
want to do
I've
this
heard
for a
it
long time,
before.
I can't be doing it like this.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I've heard it before.
Mhm. Mhm.
You women, man, y'all interesting, man. Y'all be doing want to be doing all these heavy stuff, and then after a while, it don't agree with you and stuff.
Mhm.
But well, there's nothing I can say. But you have a nice physique. Like
Thank you.
what's like the body part that you want to work on more?
So me and coach are focusing on growing my back and my legs.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
so we
right.
got judges reviews after the last shows, and that was what everybody said was my back needs to be a little bit bigger, legs need to be a little denser. But other than that, like my conditioning was on point, so just got to get a little bigger, which means I have to eat more food, which is going to be mentally hard. But that's okay. We could do this.
Yeah. Afterwards, Adams, he says impressive.
Thank you.
And all the way to your page, I can understand the passing of a loved one. Yeah, he had a mom he was taking care of, and she passed away during the pandemic.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
How did the pandemic treat? How did the pandemic How did you kind of like adapt it to the pandemic?
Ooh, the pandemic was hard because my daughter was born in March of
Yeah.
2020. So we
Mm,
literally were in the hospital as we were getting shut down. So one, I was stressed before COVID was even a thing. I was stressed because I was pregnant and I own a business, so I have unpaid maternity leave. So I was already stressed figuring out one, what I was going to do financially, two, what were my clients going to do for 6 to 8 weeks after I have a baby. How am I going to set my gym up to a point where they can come in, still get their workouts in, still kind of know what they're supposed to do without me physically being there? And then, like I said, literally, like the day we were going to get discharged from the hospital, they started doing temperature checks at the hospital for
mm,
COVID. So I was like, oh. So I figured everything out work wise. I started just doing Zoom workouts with my clients, and they would just Cash App, Venmo me, whatever. Um, but as crappy as COVID was and the pandemic was, it forced me to shut my gym down for a little while, which forced everything to slow down. And if you have to slow down at any point in life, having a newborn is probably the best time to slow down. Like I got to appreciate
yeah,
every moment with her. I didn't have to send her off to daycare at 8 weeks old. There she is. There's my baby. um, so in a way, COVID was I was very grateful for COVID. And then my clients, obviously everybody was in the same situation, so nobody could really leave their house. But it got to a point where people were like, okay, like we're ready to come back to the gym. Are you going to open? Are you going to open? And so finally I just opened back up. And because I was one of the only gyms in the area that was open, it came
mm,
flocking to me because I don't know how New York was, but like even buying at home gym equipment at that point in time was
yeah,
dumbbells were 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times the price that they should be because people were just trying to make a buck. So you couldn't even buy a set of dumbbells for at home reasonably priced. So it kind of gave my business a little bump towards the end of the pandemic there. Um, so business wise, it wasn't terrible. Could have been better, could have been worse. Um, and like I said, at home, like it allowed me to stay home with my baby. Like
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like in New York, I remember like a lot of businesses closed down like permanently. Like, there were business that closed, but then they was fighting to open up and stuff. I remember there was this one business, like this lady, she owned like a yoga session class, and because I used to pass through there, and like maybe like I would say like couple of months, like after like during the pandemic, it it just didn't even exist no more. So
It's so
yeah,
sad what the
so
pandemic
yeah.
did to small businesses. Like, I'm very grateful I made it out above all that.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
what like exercises do you give your clients to do?
It depends on what their goals are. So I used to do boot camps and personal training. I recently just got rid of my boot camp classes. I've just found that what my clients need right now is just more one-on-one, and a lot of them just want to lift and not do sweaty circuit style boot camps anymore. Um, so I have a couple clients right now who are a little bit on the older age side. So we do more PT, body weighted stuff. The majority of my clients are young 20s to early 40s, and these
Hmm.
girls rock. Like, these girls are flipping 500-pound tires. They're deadlifting 300 pounds. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I never did the tire stuff. Like it's really heavy.
Tires
Like
are
you got to flip
fun.
it over.
Tires are
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. I had a trainer like couple of months back, but I couldn't like continue because I ain't really had it like that. So he had me doing like squats, lunges, little bit of sit ups mostly and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably think about going see him, but all the way George paid New Year's is the biggest time for new clients, but drops off after March. Mm.
So that seems to be the common misconception here. So, I mean, maybe I'm just out of the norm. New Year's is not a busy time for me. It's still
Okay.
Christmas. People are still enjoying their family. They're still enjoying food. They're still enjoying drinking. March, April, May, when the sun is coming out and it's starting to get hot and people are putting on bathing suits and they're like, oh shit, I got 8 months to lose 40 pounds. I got 8 weeks to lose 40 pounds because it's about to be summer. That's when I get
Yeah.
busy. Like, right now, I am
Yeah.
swamped, swamped,
Yeah.
way busier
Yeah.
than I was in January.
Yeah. Everybody want to be half naked nowadays,
Right,
show off and all that stuff.
right. So then they see all of a sudden
Yeah.
like 180-degree day and they're like, well, I've been drinking and eating for the past 8 months straight. I should probably
Yeah.
do something about this.
Yeah. 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 We have before pictures
Yeah.
few years ago.
Yeah.
What? Let me ask you something. What's the difference between years ago into a sport that is extreme and could kind of jeopardize your health?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like I've done a lot worse things in my life than
Right.
bodybuilding. I've been a drug addict. I've been a lot of things. I've been a lot of things. So I feel like the stress that I could be putting on my body right now is nothing close to what I've done to my body already.
Yeah, I just asked because there's times there's bodybuilders pass away for different reasons and stuff.
Mhm,
You never you know there's bodybuilders pass out on stage at one
mhm.
point. So,
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, going back to my coach, like, it's their job to get you on stage and to do what you got to do, but it's also their job to make sure that you do it the healthiest way possible. The people who are passing
right,
out on stage are not trained the proper way. They're not coached the proper way. Like, at no point did I feel like I was going to keel over and die. At no point did I feel like I needed to hold on to the ledge because I was going to fall. Like, you shouldn't feel like that. Like,